This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
.45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is a news edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by J. Yogaraj. For headlines, the President orders speedy release of essential goods held up at customs. 1,298 new cases of COVID-19 reported in Sri Lanka yesterday. Sri Lanka also reports 26 new COVID-19 deaths. State Minister Dilum Amanigama reiterates that there will be no increase in bus fares. The Parliament is scheduled to convene today. The mobile vaccination drive will commence today at island-wide locations. The Army Commander says no plans to reimpose travel restrictions. The Education Ministry says the closing date for the interest-free loan application for the undergraduate studies will close on the 15th of this month. News overseas, Ukraine crisis, Nord Stream 2 will end if Russia invades, Joe Biden says. In sports, Paul Collingwood named England interim head coach for West Indies Test Series. And those are the headlines. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has instructed officials to take immediate steps to release containers containing essential goods held up at customs. The President made this decision yesterday with the aim of preventing any shortages in the market. The President also appointed a committee headed by Finance Minister Basuda Rajapaksa to ensure that there is no shortage of essential commodities, including food. A special discussion was held at the Presidential Secretariat last afternoon with regard to the release of essential goods in the custody of the customs. President Rajapaksa stressed the importance of providing the people with the opportunity to purchase essential goods, including food, without any shortage during the upcoming festive season and instructed the officials to take plans for this from now on. The Ministry of Health says that another 1,298 persons have tested positive for the novel coronavirus yesterday. This brings the total number of COVID-19 cases registered in the country thus far to 620,732. A total of 23,452 patients infected with the virus are currently undergoing treatment island-wide, while total recovery stands at 581,659. The Director General of Health Services has also confirmed 26 new coronavirus-related deaths for February 6, increasing the death toll in the country due to the virus to 15,621. This includes 17 males and 9 females, according to the Department of Government Information. 6 of the deceased were in the age group of 30 to 59 years. 2 others were aged below 30 years, and the remaining 18 victims were aged 16 years or 60 years or above. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Get extra 10 rupees for every dollar and receive a refund of transaction fees up to rupees 1,000 when depositing funds to a rupee account from People's Bank.
Secretary General of the Parliament Affairs, Mr. Dhammika Dasanayake, says Parliament is scheduled to convene from today, the 8th of February, to 11th. The decision was taken at the Committee on Parliamentary Business held yesterday, chaired by Deputy Speaker and the Chair of Committees, Ranjit Siambala Pittiya. State Minister of Transport Dilum Amanigama says that even though the price of fuel has been increased, bus fares will not be amended. He said that the bus owners had agreed during the instance when approval was granted for the increase in bus fares last time that even if the price of fuel is increased, they will not increase bus fares. Pointing out that it was possible to bring the previous COVID-19 situation under control due to the people acting intelligently, the Army Command also said it was essential that all citizens strictly follow the health guidelines and act responsibly at this crucial juncture. The Army commander said that it was imperative to get the booster vaccine, adding that even though infected with COVID, then there would be no serious risk. Meanwhile, Director of the Health Promotion Bureau, Consultant Dr. Ranjit Batuantudava, says that the majority of the COVID-19 infected persons identified in the society are infected with the Omicron virus variant. He made these remarks in response to a query raised by the media as to whether travel restrictions will be imposed with the current rapid spread of the coronavirus. And that's local news.
Get extra 10 rupees for every dollar and receive a refund of transaction fees up to rupees 1,000 when depositing funds to a rupee account from People's Bank. These offers are valid until 30th April.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Ministry of Education says the closing date for the interest-free loan application for the undergraduate studies will close on the 15th of this month. The selected applicants could pursue their graduate studies even at the non-governmental local private universities. And that was top news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight, health authorities have requested the public to follow health guidelines strictly as the corona infections crossed 1,000 mark for the 8th consecutive day. This cannot be taken easy, the health authorities warned. Director General of the Health Services, Dr. Asela Gunawardena, says that it is a high risk for the public to get involved with large gatherings or get-togethers. He requested the public to refrain from travelling between the provinces. He pointed out that 900 to 1,000 corona patients are still being reported daily from the country. And that was Watchlight. And in world news, Ukraine crisis. Nord Stream 2 will end if Russia invades, Joe Biden says. NSO Group, Israel launches inquiry into police hacking claims. China's Tencent restores a fight club, ending after backlash. Those are the headlines of the world news. US President Joe Biden says he will shut down a key Russian gas pipeline to Germany if Moscow invades Ukraine. Speaking after talks with the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz in Washington, Mr. Biden said the U.S. would bring an end to the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Israel's government will set up a commission of inquiry to examine reports the police used spyware made by NSO Group to hack the phones of Israeli public figures without authorization. Officials, protesters, journalists, and the son of former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu were among those targeted, the local newspaper said. Chinese streaming giant Tencent has reinstated the original ending of the Hollywood movie after a censored version last month sparked backlash. The original ending to the 1999 film Fight Club, starring Brad Pitt, shows scenes of explosions and relentless fighting. But China's version simply showed a message on screen saying the authorities won and saved the day. And that was world news.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Army Commander Shavendra Silva says the mobile vaccination drive will commence today at island-wide locations. The mobile vaccination drive will consist many CSR activities, including the mobile unit officials visiting the houses and private organizations for the vaccination purpose. And that was Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928. Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
In cricket, Paul Collingwood has been appointed as England's interim men's head coach for the 3-match test series against West Indies in March. Chris Silverwood left his role as head coach last week following England's 4-0 Ashes defeat by Australia. Former all-rounder Collingwood took charge of England's 3-2 2020 series defeat in the Caribbean last month. And that was sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Internet search group Google has invested $1 billion for a 1.28% stake in Indian telecom operator Bharti Airtel by dipping into its $10 billion Indian digitalization fund, a move that underscores the company's urgency to make smartphone and internet usage in the country amid increasing regulatory scrutiny. Google will invest up to $1 billion in Bharti Airtel through a mix of equity and commercial partnership.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
For the first time in Sri Lanka, Uzbekistan Airlines will launch charter flights to Sri Lanka on a regular basis, and the airline has decided to commence this weekly operation centering the Mattala Rajapaksa International Airport. 8 conspens travels together with one of the leading tour operators will be bringing in the first ever charter flight to Sri Lanka from Uzbekistan from Wednesday.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
In weather report, the Met Department says mainly dry weather will continue to prevail over most parts of the island. Fairly cold weather can be expected during the early hours. There is a possibility of ground frost at some places in the Nuwara district during the early hours of the morning. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in western, central, Sabaragamuwa, north central and Uva provinces and in Kurunegala, Galle and Mathura districts during the morning hours. This weather report was published this morning at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Before we conclude this news podcast, let's look at the main points once again. The President orders speedy release of essential goods held up at customs. 1,298 new cases of COVID-19 reported in Sri Lanka yesterday. Sri Lanka also reports 26 new COVID-19 deaths. State Minister Dilum Amanigama reiterates that there will be no increase in bus fares. The Parliament is scheduled to convene today. The mobile vaccination drive will commence today at island-wide locations. The Army Commander says no plans to reimpose travel restrictions. The Education Ministry says the closing date for the interest-free loan application for the undergraduate studies will close on the 15th of this month. With that, we conclude this news podcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.